Imagine this: two identical homes, side by side, in the same neighborhood. One owner pays $3,500 in property taxes. The other pays a staggering $8,500. This isn't a rare anomaly. It happens all the time across the U.S., leaving countless homeowners baffled and frustrated. What hidden factors are truly at play here, and why are so many people unknowingly paying thousands more than they should? It's not simply about the market value of your home. There are critical, often overlooked differences in how these taxes are assessed, how exemptions are applied, and even specific deadlines that can make or break your annual bill. Understanding these nuances isn't just about saving money. It's about financial empowerment. Stick around, because we're going to expose the real reasons behind these massive tax disparities and show you exactly what steps you can take to potentially shrink your own property tax burden. The answer might surprise you. The core of your property tax bill starts with the assessment process. Local tax assessors determine your home's taxable value, which often differs significantly from its market value or what Zillow says it's worth. They look at comparable sales, the size of your home, lot dimensions, construction quality, and amenities like a pool or an extra bathroom. For example, if your home's market value is $400,000, but the assessor determines its taxable value to be $350,000, that $350,000 is what the tax rate will be applied to. This assessed value is supposed to be a fair estimate, but it's often a point of contention. The key takeaway here is that your taxable value isn't a fixed number. It's an opinion, and opinions can sometimes be challenged. But how exactly does this opinion translate into the final dollar amount you pay? That's where the local tax rate comes in, and it's far from uniform. Once your property's taxable value is established, the local taxing authorities apply their specific tax rate. This rate is usually expressed in mills or as a percentage. A mill is $1 for every $1,000 of assessed value. So, a tax rate of 15 mills means you pay $15 for every $1,000 of your home's assessed value. If your assessed value is $300,000 and the rate is 15 mills, your base tax is $4,500. But here's the crucial part. Different jurisdictions, even within the same county, can have vastly different rates. One town might have a higher rate to fund better schools, while an adjacent town might have a lower rate but fewer public services. This is a primary reason why neighbors, even those across the street, can pay different amounts if they fall into different taxing districts. And it gets even more complex when you factor in special assessments. Here's where many homeowners leave thousands on the table. Exemptions. These are deductions from your home's assessed value that reduce your taxable amount. The most common is the homestead exemption, which is available in many states for your primary residence. For instance, in Florida, the homestead exemption can reduce your assessed value by up to $50,000. If your home is assessed at $300,000 and you qualify for the full $50,000 exemption, you're only taxed on $250,000. That's a huge difference. Other common exemptions include those for seniors, veterans, and individuals with disabilities. The catch? You usually have to apply for these exemptions. They don't automatically appear on your bill. Missing a deadline or simply not knowing about them can cost you hundreds or even thousands annually, making your neighbor's lower bill seem like a magic trick. But what happens when the local government decides your home is suddenly worth more? Property reassessments typically happen on a cycle, often every few years, but the frequency varies widely by state and county. This is when the tax assessor reevaluates your property's value, usually to bring it closer to current market conditions. During a booming real estate market, these reassessments can lead to significant jumps in your assessed value and consequently your tax bill. For example, if your home was last assessed at $250,000 5 years ago and similar homes in your area are now selling for $450,000, your next reassessment could push your assessed value dramatically higher. This isn't always fair, especially if your specific property hasn't seen the same level of upgrades or appreciation as others. Many states have Save Our Homes provisions that cap how much your assessed value can increase in a given year, but these caps are not universal. So what if you disagree with the new value? The single biggest mistake homeowners make is assuming their property tax assessment is set in stone. It's not. If you believe your assessment is too high, you have the right to appeal it. This often involves gathering evidence of comparable sales of similar homes in your area that sold for less than your assessed value, or demonstrating that there are errors in your property's description. Perhaps the assessor believes you have 4 bathrooms when you only have 3, or they've overestimated your square footage. I once saw a homeowner successfully argue down their assessment by $50,000 because the assessor included a detached garage that had been torn down years prior. The key is acting quickly. There are strict deadlines for appeals, typically within 30 to 60 days of receiving your assessment notice. Ignoring these deadlines means you're stuck with the higher bill for another year. But even if your assessment is accurate, there are other hidden costs. A common myth is that if you don't make any improvements to your home, your property taxes won't increase. This is false. While significant additions or renovations can trigger a reassessment and increase your value, even without changes, your taxes can still go up due to general market appreciation or an increase in the local tax rate. Your assessed value is influenced by the sales of comparable homes around you, so if your neighbors are selling their upgraded homes for higher prices, your assessment will likely follow suit, even if your home remains untouched. This is why you can live in the same house for 20 years, make no changes, and still see your tax bill steadily climb. It's not a punishment for improvement. It's a reflection of the dynamic real estate market and local funding needs. So, how can you proactively prepare for these inevitable increases? Beyond the standard property tax, some homeowners face special assessments. These are additional charges levied by local governments for specific improvements that directly benefit your property or neighborhood. Think new sidewalks, sewer lines, street lights, or even a local park. Unlike regular property taxes, which fund general public services, special assessments are typically one-time or spread over a few years and are directly tied to the cost of the improvement. For example, if your street gets a new storm drain system, you might see a $2,000 special assessment added to your tax bill, payable over 5 years. Your neighbor might not pay this if their property isn't in the directly impacted zone, creating another disparity. Always scrutinize your tax bill for these line items, as they can significantly inflate the total amount, and you usually have a limited window to contest them. This can feel like a hidden fee, but it's important to understand why it's there. For most homeowners with a mortgage, property taxes aren't paid directly out of pocket each year. Instead, they're typically included in your monthly mortgage payment and held in an escrow account by your lender. The lender pays your tax bill on your behalf when it's due. While convenient, this system has a potential downside. If your property taxes suddenly jump due to a reassessment or rate increase, your monthly mortgage payment will also increase, sometimes by hundreds of dollars. This can catch homeowners off guard, especially if they haven't been monitoring their assessment notices. For example, if your taxes increase by $1,200 annually, your monthly payment goes up by $100. It's crucial to review your escrow analysis statement each year to understand how your lender is adjusting for tax changes. This is another reason why proactive tax management is so important. It directly impacts your monthly budget. When appealing your assessment, finding good comparable sales, or comps, is critical. You'll want to look for homes that sold recently, within the last 6 to 12 months, are physically similar to yours, number of bedrooms/bathrooms, square footage, lot size, and are located within your immediate neighborhood. Websites like Zillow and Redfin can be a good starting point for finding sales data, but remember that the assessor's office often has access to more detailed, verified information. If you're struggling, consider asking a local real estate agent for a comparative market analysis. They often do this for free in hopes of earning your business. The goal is to show the assessor that similar properties are selling for less than what your home is currently assessed at. This evidence is your strongest weapon, but what if your property has unique characteristics? Sometimes the difference in property taxes isn't just about general market trends or exemptions. It's about unique features of your specific property. A corner lot might be assessed differently than an interior lot due to perceived value or maintenance costs. A home on a busy street might be valued lower than one on a quiet cul-de-sac. Even the condition of your home, if significantly worse than others in the neighborhood, can be a valid reason for a lower assessment. For instance, if your roof is 25 years old and your neighbor just installed a new one, this difference might not be fully captured in the assessor's generic model. Documenting these specific conditions with photos or contractor estimates can strengthen your appeal. It's about presenting a comprehensive picture of your property's true value, not just what's on paper, but what's the ultimate path to reducing your bill. So, how can you apply this knowledge to potentially lower your own property tax bill? First, carefully review your annual assessment notice. Look for errors in property details like square footage, number of rooms, or lot size. Second, identify all exemptions you might be eligible for and apply for them before the deadline. Third, research comparable sales in your area. Use online tools and, if necessary, consult with a local real estate agent. Find homes similar to yours that sold for less than your assessed value. Fourth, prepare your appeal. Gather all your evidence, including photos, sales data, and any documentation of property defects. Fifth, attend your appeal hearing or submit your written appeal. Be polite, factual, and well-prepared. Remember, the system is designed to be challenged, and an informed homeowner is a powerful homeowner. You have more control than you think over your property tax burden, but you have to take the initiative. Understanding why your neighbors pay different amounts in property taxes boils down to assessment methods, tax rates, crucial exemptions, and your willingness to challenge the system. By being proactive and informed, you can potentially save thousands of dollars each year. The biggest takeaway is that your assessment isn't final. It's a starting point for discussion. If you're now wondering what happens to your property taxes if you sell your home, or how they affect capital gains, watch our next video on selling your home for maximum profit. Don't miss out on more essential real estate insights. Make sure to subscribe.